Hi, everyone. This is Betsy Kreider. We're so glad that you joined us. If you're unfamiliar with me, I am Be Creative Stamping. I live in Lewistown, Pennsylvania, and I'm so excited to be here with my best friend in the whole wide world, presenting our Stamp It Your Way kit for February. Mary Ellen, say hello.
Hi, everybody. It's Mary Ellen Stites from Create With Me, and I live in East Central Illinois, and I'm thrilled to be here to show you the amazing cards that we have for you this month. And I hope that if you're joining in and you haven't signed up for it, you'll still enjoy and learn something new. That's what we're here for, right, Betsy?
Absolutely. She forgot to mention that she's also happy about being here with her best friend as well.
Yeah.
So I'll just add that little part for her. But yeah, yeah. We are here to present.
That's a given.
Yes, a given. We're here to present Stamp It Your Way. Stamp It Your Way for, we started last month. That was our first month. We're in month number 2. We're still working out the kinks. So please forgive us if we kind of hiccup a little bit or we look like we don't really know what we're doing, because part of the time we don't know what we're doing, but we kind of fake it till you make it.
No, we're professionals.
Yes, we are. Yeah, no, we're not. Yes. Okay, so Stamp It Your Way, if you're unfamiliar with it and you're joining us for the first time, or if you were with us last month, we're so glad that you're joining again. Stamp It Your Way is a class that we're offering. It's a kit that we're offering where you get, we feature a specific suite in the catalog. So we're working off of the January to April catalog, and we're featuring the Playing, it's actually Rain or Shine suite this month, and the Playing in the Rain bundle. And we provide, if you sign up for this kit, it's between the 1st of the month and the 10th of the month that we always open up registration. In this kit, you got 8 cards. There were 4 different designs. You make 2 of each. And we also included up to $20 in free product to go with it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So in this month, they not only got, and I don't have anything in front of me because I'm packed for an event coming up. So Mary Ellen, hopefully she might not have anything either, but we'll just tell you what it is. So they got a half a pack. It's everywhere. No, a half a pack of the, right. Exactly. A half a pack of the DSP. So we cut the DSP to 12 by 6. So they got a half a pack of that. They also got a roll of the silver trim, the elegant silver trim. They got a roll of the pumpkin pie twine. And then also they got the daisy embellishments, which I'll be showing you here in a second. The daisy embellishments, which happen to also be like, they're on back order right now. They're sold out. So something definitely, if you didn't even get them this month, you can still get them because I believe they're coming back in stock. So, but if you didn't get the kit, no worries. I hope you're joining us just to watch and get some inspiration, right?
Right, because we've got some, I think, inspirational ideas that people can use on any card.
Yeah, absolutely. Some fun coloring techniques this time around, which is good. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. You ready?
Yeah, I think that if you didn't get the kit, I'd say right now is a great time to grab a pencil and a paper, and maybe you can take down some of the measurements and stuff too. Because if you got the kit, then you've got the tutorial. So
exactly. It's great. Okay, I've got 3 devices going here. So if I look up or look down or look over to this side or that side, it's because I'm trying to manage all 3. Again, I'm not quite sure why I'm doing the technology part because I'm really bad at it. But hold on a second here for me, folks. So you should be seeing my desktop now and this adorable little bunny. I love the bunny. Okay, so this is the card number 1 in your packet. Rainy days are better with you. And I'm using this little bunny. So in your card packet here, you have gotten the smoky slate, okay, which is your card base. Easy to do, just fold in half. Oh, remind me, I got to remember to say something to you, Mary Ellen, about your one card, because I think you're setting a precedent for me and I'm going to get in trouble later with all my customers. So I have to remember to say something to you. Okay, smoky slate. And then I have in here the scallop contours. We did this die cutting for you. This is the scallop out of the scallop contour dies. And what I did was I used the I use the raindrop embossing folder. Ooh, major glare. Raindrop embossing folder to emboss that on mine. Now, we did not emboss yours. You can emboss with any folder that you have at home or the raindrop folder if you have that one. But this is Stamp It Your Way, so you can make it your own and do whatever works best for you. But that's going to go on the front there, and I'm going to do my silver twine that goes through there. And I think I did, how many spots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think there's any right way or wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to run that trim through there. The trim, by the way, I think was cut at about 17 inches. And I'm just running that across the front and then tying a bow over here at the side.
I think one of the fun things, Betsy, is that they get you and me because we both have completely different creative minds. Like you're like, I counted up 5 things. I'd be like, just put it in here. I'm thinking, wow, 5 scallops. Ingenious.
Yep, I counted it. All right, a little bit of glue on the back. That's going right on the front. There, perfect. All right, and watch your raindrops. And I did it. I did do it. Hold on. You gotta love liquid glue because you can pick it up and put the raindrops actually going in the right direction, which makes my trim going in the wrong direction. So guess what? These raindrops are going to be big fat raindrops coming down.
I think you should have put it the right way. I think the trim up there shows how you could stamp it your own way.
Oh, now you're gonna make me change it again. Look, well, there's only so many times I can change it with this liquid glue. Well, let's do it again.
No,
all right, hold on.
I seriously think it would be fine up there, and it will show 2 ways because you've got samples. So I kind of up there, right. Kind of pretty.
You can like it up there. All right, let's do it up there then. There we go. Well, if you do the raindrops, watch the direction of your raindrops, whether or not they're coming down or going big fat like that. So there you go. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just make it our own. Do it differently. All right, so this is the designer series paper that I suggest using in this piece. It's got the designer series paper in this suite has like some foil already in it. It's a specialty paper. So what we're going to do is this is going to actually layer behind this one. You don't see a lot of it, but it just adds a little bit of reflection whenever you're moving the card around. So here I'm going to stamp the bunny. So I've got the bunny and my memento pad. Now, when you are, I don't know about you, but when I have a large surface like this or a large block, I don't like trying to ink it this way. I find it easier if I put the stamp on the table and take the ink pad to the stamp. I find it easier to ink it this way when it's a larger block. My block is bigger than my ink pad. I find this is easier. Ink him up. He's going to be down here towards the bottom. There you go. Cute. He's so cute. And while I'm stamping, I might as well go ahead and do the rainy days. And I always stamp off on my scratch paper just to make sure I'm stamping it right. There we go. Cute, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now for coloring him in, I went very basic with the coloring. So when you're coloring, there are different ways you can do it. Some you can get pretty fancy with. So Mary Ellen is the master colorer. So she's going to show you some really, really good techniques. So that's why I insisted on going first this month, because my techniques are a little bit not as pretty as hers. Mine are pretty simple. So all I'm doing is and when I'm using blends are our alcohol markers. So when I'm using blends, I always go light, dark, light. What about you, Mary Ellen? Is that how you do it too?
Yes, same. Yes.
Same, right? So what I'm doing is I'm kind of putting down like a base color and I'm using a Flirty Flamingo, but the nice thing here is you can use just about any color that you wanted to color in his little jacket with. So I'm going just coloring in with the light first. And the light gives you the chance to put like a base of color down. Then what I'm doing is going in with the dark Flirty Flamingo And I'm just adding in some dark areas, like I'm just drawing a line. There's nothing kind of special about this, just drawing a line where I want there to be darkness. Sometimes the artist will actually draw in darkness for you. It'll give you shading. So like if I'm looking right here where these little lines are, that's where the artist is kind of saying to you that there should be some shading there or some darkness there. So you could just then go back in with your light marker. And what I do is I go.
You used your nib end too.
I do. I am using the nib end. I do like the color. Use the brush end. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. I used to always use the brush end. Now it's like lately I really like the nib. I don't know.
If I have a big spot, I'll use the brush and then I go back in with my nib for my shadowing and
for your shadowing. Yeah, there you go.
And blending for sure.
So all I've done, hopefully you can kind of see that. So all I've done is just kind of colored over where the darkness was, but I didn't color the whole thing in because I want to leave white space or lighter space in there just to get the different shading. Now I also went in and colored his little cute nose. And I don't know why I think he's a boy and I'm coloring him with the pink, but he's a boy. I don't know why. I don't know why.
You might. I say hold those two, hold that one up next to it. And I think the Flirty Flamingo is an interesting blend. Notice how Betsy's card that she's coloring now is almost a different color. Don't like freak out by that because it actually evolves. This is a color that as it dries, it will evolve to that pink. So it looks a little peachy. And then as it dries, it'll go to the actual Flirty Flamingo. It lays down different colors, what I'm trying to say. Because I freaked me out the first time I used it.
It does. I agree with you. It does. It'll get dark. Sometimes it seems to get darker as it dries, right?
Yeah.
Because look at the back. So this is why you want to make sure you have a protected surface. And anytime you're coloring with blends, because they will bleed through. And it's also a good idea why you start with the light first, because the light, it blends easier if you're working with something that's wet versus like dry. So if I go with dark and the dark's on the dry, it doesn't blend quite as easily as it does if you have a wet surface to start with the light, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add this piece here. Now, Mary Ellen's going to show you some really cool techniques as far as adding some shadowing against him. They call it kind of like anchoring to the page, right, Mary Ellen? Like where they anchor an image to the page.
Yeah, it kind of grounds them.
Kind of grounds him. I felt like he was already kind of grounded because he had some water below him here. But Mary Ellen's going to show you some really cool techniques on that. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy on the front here. I'm going to use some dimensionals. All right, put this on. And I'm just centering that here. There we go. And the last thing I did on the front of the card was I did use some Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella is one of the greatest inventions. I just love it. It's a glitter brush. It allows you to add glitter without the glitter mess. And I just used that on the puddle right below his feet here, just to give that puddle a little bit of shimmer and shine. Again, like kind of grounding him to the page, that his puddle's a little shiny. Can you see that at all? Can you see the shimmer?
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's so cute.
See it? Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Now, I'm not going to stamp the inside. You kind of know how that works, but I can show you what I did here. So when the inside, you have a piece of basic white and Flirty Flamingo, and I stamped him again on the inside. Isn't he cute?
Oh, he's so cute.
He's so cute. And then I also did my envelope, but instead of doing like the bunny, I wanted just a smaller image. So I stamped the little umbrella that comes in this set as well. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
There's card number 1. Isn't that cute? I love it. So simple. Yep. All right. So there is card number 1. Let me put that aside. Card number 2. Get that out of the way. So I'll put my arm in it. Card number 2 is this one. Oh, Happy Day. Okay. Let me bring that in a little closer for you. I just love the fox. right? And then I have the inside as well. So in this one, you get your 4 1/4 by 11 piece of thick basic white. Okay, use your bone folder to give that a nice score. In your packet, you're going to have, I wanted to pull out here for you. In this one, we're going to be doing some die cutting. And that first one, it's nice because we didn't do any die cutting other than like that scallop. But this one, you're going to be using the little bridge. There's some little greens that you're going to be doing, and then die cutting the little animal. So, and you could do any animal in this case. Now, I went ahead and I did use the fox. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up using my memento. And we gave you a piece that you can get 2, because you're doing 2 of these. You could get 2 of these out of 1 piece. Okay, and you can kind of see that I did that there so you can get an idea. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and put him in, and then you're gonna color just like we just did earlier with the coloring. I went ahead and started this guy so you could see with the greens. Now, his coloring, I actually stole this idea from the designer series paper. So I liked how the designer series paper was colored in, like with that little bit of brown coming off the face. And I wasn't really sure how to color him. And instead of coloring him completely brown, I decided to kind of copy what they were doing. So I just used the naturals. Now the natural blends, there are 5 sets. I believe there are 5 sets of 2. And they come in different variations of skin tones and browns that you can use. And I can tell you that I'm using the 800 and the 200. The 800 is more, I think it was called a medium light. And then the 200 is in the deep color. And what I did was I just colored in the tail and the face and just kind of made my own coloring in there. The only part I didn't do yet was the hat, and I can finish that out for you. I used Calypso Coral for the umbrella, again, kind of copying right off of the designer series paper. And then I'm going to just color in that hat. So again, I'm going to start with the light color of the Old Olive. And again, this artist has built in some of the areas where it might be shaded. So right next to the hat where the crease lines are, I can come in and add a little bit of darkness. And I had actually colored this one, his jacket, earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more here, down here. And then back in with the light. Good enough, right?
Gorgeous.
There we go. Just to give them a little bit of shading, right? Cute. So what we're going to do is you have a piece of Old Olive and you're going to cut 2 of your bridges, because again, you have 2 cards and you'll get one of those bridges like that. You'll also be cutting out of that same piece. You should have enough to also cut 4 of them for your 2 cards. You cut 2 of your little greens for your card. Okay. So that is in your packet. You've got your designer series paper that's going to go on the front. So I can go ahead and add that. Just love these flowers. It's so bright and cheery.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to pick with this paper, this designer series paper. It was hard to pick what to use because there were too many good choices.
I know. I like every piece.
Right.
And I don't always say that, but I do on this one.
Okay. So I'm adding just a little bit of glue, just in a couple spots on the back of the bridge so that I can add this down here at the bottom of my card. So I'm going to go right about there. That looks good. And I'm also going to go ahead and add some glue to the back of our little greens so that we can add those at the bottom. You could use glue dots here if you wanted to, but I think the liquid glue works pretty well. I'm just adding those. Whoop, helps if it sticks, not to my finger. There we go. Excuse me. You also have a piece of old olive. Let me see if I remember what the measurement of this is.
1 and 3.
A piece of old olive that's 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and this is for the words "Oh Happy Day." So "Oh Happy Day" is going to be stamped on this one. And I'm going to stamp a little bit towards the top, because then I want to flag cut this at the bottom. And I think we showed this last month. And when you were doing that, I was thinking about this, and I wanted to show you, you had talked about going up like through the middle, right? And then cutting from each side. And I saw somebody do this, and she went and she cut up from the middle. Okay. And she cut from the one side, corner to the middle, just like that, right? But instead of trying to go like this, she just flipped her paper over and went this way again.
Brilliant.
Isn't that genius?
Sure.
Instead of you having to flip it and kind of go cockeyed like that, just turn the paper over and go from the edge again. Yeah. Smart. Gotta love it when you have you see a brilliant move and it's like, ooh, okay, I like that idea. There we go. Oh, happy day. We're going to add some dimensionals to the back of our little critter. I like a lot of dimensionals. I usually don't skimp too much on them. And then I wanted to make it kind of look like he was like walking across the top of the bridge here. So I'm going to put him right there. With the twine, we also talked about doing how to do bows. For me, it depends on what I'm working with when it comes to bows. If I'm doing ribbon, I find the bunny ears work pretty well. With twine, it's just like tying my shoelaces. I find that works a little bit better. Of course, it's going to fight me today. But I'm just going to use a little bit of a glue dot. Put it where I want it to go. And then I just push the knot right down into that. And then trim accordingly, right? Cute. Now, I added the daisy embellishments. So here are the daisy embellishments. And you get lots and lots and lots of them, right? They're so cute. There's white and there's yellow and there's various sizes that you have. And what I did was I added a little bit of glue. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this one. So where I wanted them to go, I just took my glue and I added a little glue dot with my liquid glue where I wanted them to go. Here, 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 and then I did one up here. By putting that liquid glue on there and letting that set for a second, what I'm doing is I'm letting that glue get a little bit tacky. And it works a little better with adding these pieces when those are a little on the tacky side, they don't slide around quite as much. So I'm gonna let that set for a second. While that's going, what I did was, I can show you a couple samples here. So what I did for the inside was I just stamped the little flowers, and I did that on my envelope as well. And you color those in. I used a little bit of the Calypso Coral in the center, and I did some old olive on the leaves, right? Now, before I do that, I wanted to show you when I was originally designing this card, this was my first sample. And I wanted to show you what you could do with it. You see that? With the little bunny? It's the same card, right? But it's just a different character. Also, I wanted to point out to you that what it is that little character is from the designer series paper. Do you see how she's, now, I don't know why she's a she and the other one's a boy, but she's a she. But she's glossy in her coat. Can you see it? There you go. She's right from the designer series paper. So when you're working with this designer series paper like this, the dies match it. I love that Stampin' Up! Does this now. So the little turtle matches, the little bunny matches, and the little fox match. So instead of, if you don't feel comfortable coloring, some people don't like to color, which is fine. If you don't, then use the designer series paper. You can make the same card. You're just using the designer series paper. And what I did was I fussy cut the umbrella that she's holding. I fussy cut that from this designer series paper. Isn't that cute?
Adorable.
Right? So there's so much you can do with this paper that just because I'm coloring, and I did cut these that got little characters out so you could kind of see them. They're all cut right from the designer series paper, right? Okay.
Oh,
I feel like my glue might be tacky enough now. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick up a couple little embellishments here. I just feel like it holds a little better. Have you ever done that?
I'm learning something completely new now. So
I do that. I let that glue just kind of sit for a couple of minutes because I feel like it tacks up a little bit easier. And they don't slide as much. And I am using the putty end of the take your pick because I find it's just a little easier to just kind of reach down in there and pick one up, put it onto my project. And I'm going to put one up here. There you go. Good, right?
so cute.
All right. I've just got 2 more samples here to show you so that you can kind of see what we've done. And then I'm going to turn it over to you, Mary Ellen. You about ready?
Sure.
All right. So here's one more sample. I kind of cased this one a little bit out of the catalog, but it's the same way, is that I use the designer series paper fox to put that on the front. I use some of the designer series paper rain there. You can kind of see that shiny. This one's just kind of cased out of the catalog. Okay. And then this one's a little out of my comfort zone. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I keep kind of going back and forth with it, but I wanted to use the dies in a different way. And that's this one. It's just different. I'm not sure I love it, but it's okay.
I like it.
Yeah. I love the kite. And I thought, oh, I want to figure out a way to use the kite. So yeah, there you go. Those are mine. So just let us know if you have any questions or anything there you want to see. I'd love to see what you're making. So remember to share with us. I'm going to go ahead and remove the spotlight here. And Mary Ellen, I'm going to spotlight you instead. There we go.
Okay.
You should be good.
All right. So I am doing card number 3 now. And we've got this cute, adorable little turtle. And I stamped this my way, Betsy. So if you notice in the stamp set, which I don't have on my desk for some reason, there's only 2 greetings in there, right? And you use both of those. Rainy days are better with you and oh, happy day. And so I thought I would just pull out a stamp set that I've been enjoying lately. Let me grab it here and show you. And it's called Happy Labels. And I did 3 different cards using Happy Labels. There are is like an outside greeting and an inside greeting. So I love that about this one. So that's what I'm using. But you could pull out any greeting that you have in your stash. So
I don't think I own that. I don't think I own that set. I don't think I knew that it had the front and the inside. I have to look at that again.
Yeah, there's like things that go together. So like this says, thank you. You've got the biggest heart. Okay.
Oh,
so that's, you know what I'm saying? So that's, yay. I'm so happy you were born if it's your birthday.
I'm going to have to get that set. I didn't get that one.
Yeah, you definitely need to get that set.
Yeah.
So let me just show you this card. It's just a little bit different fold. It's nothing, I wouldn't call this a fancy fold. Would you call it fancy fold? I just think it's a little unique fold, I guess. I don't know.
any fold that doesn't fold the same way all the time to me is a fancy fold.
Okay, so this is the card that I'm going to show you, and I want to show you a couple of tips and tricks on this card. So what you're going to get in your packet if you subscribe to the Stamp It Your Way is you're going to get a card base that is a regular cardstock size. So this is 5.5 by 4.25, and then you're going to get the flap, which would be 8.5 by let's see, 8.5 by 3, 8.5 by 3, and we're just going to fold that in half. So it's going to go right here in the center. You're going to get a piece of basic white to go on the inside, and you got a the stitched. This is the stitch circle die cut for your little turtle guy. It is, I measured it at 2 9/16. I don't know if that's it, but this is around 2 9/16. Why? I don't know. And then
I saw that on your tutorial and was like, what the heck is she doing to me?
Well, I just did that so that people would know that if they took their ruler to this stitch die right here, it's 2 9/16 on my fancy ruler you gave to me.
You said for me that you would not have counted the scallops on the little bunny card, but you're doing 9/16 on that circle.
I know. You call me on those measurements all the time. I'm funny about that. Here is a Flirty Flamingo scallop that we pre-die cut for you. But if you are doing it yourself, this one is the 2 3/4 inch scallop circle die cut. So you have 2 of those. Those will layer together. And then you have a scrap. I just put a scrap in there for your greeting for the outside. And then you have a couple strips of paper. This is actually from the On the Farm. No. Day at the Farm DSP. And this is one paper that you could earn for free during celebrations. So if you love this paper, which I mean, it's covered in vegetables right here, but there's so many cute ones, then you can, place a $50 order and you can get this paper for free. So I have 2 strips and I cut them 4 inches by 1.5 inch. And that's going to go on either side of your fold right here. Now, if you don't want to conserve paper, you can just cut a piece that's 4 by 5 1/4 and then just cover the whole thing. But I just cut you little strips because honestly, I didn't have enough of this paper and I need to make sure I had enough for everybody. So you're going to make sure you're equidistant from these 3 sides and the same on the other side.
But they could use a full sheet. Like you originally had planned to use a full sheet, right?
Yeah. I originally a 5 1/4 by 4 inch sheet. Yeah, definitely.
So either way would work.
Definitely. I mean, the full sheet's probably easier, honestly. And then you can go ahead and adhere the folded. I probably should use my bone folder on that. We'll see. I'm going to use extra tape and maybe that'll keep it down. And then this one is the full 4 1/4. So I'm going to eyeball it. I think I'm pretty darn close here though. I'll get my bone folder out to give that a good crease. Okay, so that's our fold right there. So I'm going to show you a little bit a secret about the designer series paper. So you might notice on mine that I've got a little sky and I've got little flowers and grass, but have no fear. You can cut this in this is 2 3/4 inch strip. So 2 3/4 inch by the 12. And you can get 3 cards out of this. So you're going to put it in your trimmer and you're going to cut them. I just want to make sure I'm going right. 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, and 4 inches. So all of these are very usable pieces. Okay. These are all going to make really, really cute cards. So you have the sky, you can have the one like I have, or you can have the grass. They're all adorable. So I'm going to just use this one since I have it here on top. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. Should have got my liquid glue out by Miss Betsy. I'm going to hear it and make sure you have the flowers going up. I've got the
right direction.
Yeah, gotta make them be in the right direction. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp my greeting now. So I'm going to use the greeting hello. And here's my scrap. Am I on the screen?
You're good.
Okay. I'm using Calypso Coral, and I'm just stamping hello. Unlike Betsy, I should have stamped. I'm going to stamp that again because I got to get my head in here.
It's hard sometimes to not get your head in the camera and still be able to see it straight up and down.
Well, it's super hard. Yeah, it's super hard. Hello. And then I'm going to send this, and it's going to say love and miss you on the inside. And then I can take I'm going to close this up because I am notorious for putting my fingers in that. So all you're going to do is give it a little trim. So you could use any greeting you want. We gave you enough paper. You should be able to do multiple. And then on the inside, what I did is I finished with some Memento ink and my little flowers, and I stamped them 2 times, just like that.
Make a little garden.
Yes, a little garden. And then I finish it off inside with just the center, a little daffodil blend. Super easy. I didn't do the best stamping there. Forgive me. And then a little bit of the light old olive for the leaves.
The folks at home will make theirs even prettier than we can do. So
yeah, sometimes it's really, when you're stamping on camera, it's not always perfect. And then I just brush down the stems. So
very cute.
Yep. And so I am ready to put that on the inside. Just like that. So this card goes together fairly quickly. So I'm going to set my hello off to the side and get ready to do a little bit of masking. I'm going to show you some masking. So what I have here is I have, hold on, I gotta get my little mask off. I have Mr. Turtle, and I'm going to do a little bit, hopefully I'm not doing it like Betsy. I'm going to just get him good and inky.
Everybody does it differently.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's what makes us all special.
For sure. Okay, I'm going to stamp my turtle. And then what I did was I took a Post-it note and I stamped my turtle on a Post-it note, making sure that I had the sticky on here. And then I'm going to just mask him off just like that. And I'm going to bring in the flowers, which I
did you fussy cut the mask?
I did. I did fussy cut it, but you could probably die cut it, but you still have to go inside the lines because then if you use a die, it leaves a little white, and then your flowers are not going to be quite in the right place. So I just stamped the flowers right across, just like that. So it looks funny, but when I remove the mask, you'll see that it just looks like he's in a little, it looks like he's in a little garden. He's picking flowers and he's in a little garden. So I'm going to do the easy part. And that's the same thing I just did on the inside. So I'm just going to have these all be white daisies. And then I'm going to do the stems. And I do over exaggerate because I want that. I don't worry about like, oh my gosh, I got to be right on the stem. I want to over exaggerate that. So I go ahead and press a little harder and get good color on that greenery. So don't worry about, like, see, now it's brought out a little bit.
Can you hold that a little closer to the camera?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a little bit bolder on the stems. Like I'm not worried about being like super careful. I just go over it good and dark. Okay. So
give it a nice artistic look.
Yeah. So I actually colored this so long ago that Betsy asked me what colors I use. And I was like, So hopefully I get this right. So I'm starting with light, and I've got the brush end because there's quite a bit of landscape here to cover. So I'm going to start with the light old olive. I hope that's what I have. Yes. And I got to remember what I'm coloring, because you know, if sometimes you color the wrong thing. So his arms, his legs. I don't want to color a shell because I'm going to do that. The belly shell. And then I'm going to color just here quickly, just by flowing my marker right between these little spots, just like that. Okay, so I've got the light old olive, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do the same thing as Betsy did. I'm going to highlight those marks that the artist already had. Then I want to think of where the light is. So right under here, his belly is shadowing his leg, his shell is shadowing, and his belly is shadowing. And then sometimes I go in around the top of the head and around the neckline. And then I did a little bit around the shell. So as I went around, just like a clock, just like so, this is the back. And so I'm going around just like a clock, hitting those spots just like that. Then I'll go back in with my light, with my nib end. I like to do little circles and blend it.
So cute.
I didn't do his arms. I forgot his arms. So
sure,
I could go back and do that. So I'm just blending his shell out. These little, I'm going to call them spokes. I feel like I need to go back in and do his little arms. So where his little shell comes out here, that's going to be a little darker. He's cute already.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoopsie. You don't know your own strengths, do you?
I got to see if I can get that. I don't know.
I've had that happen. It does happen, folks. It does happen.
This is a brand new one, but I just happened to hit it just right. Okay, there we go. Woo! I didn't know my own strength.
Pulled it right out.
How about that? All right, so now we're going to focus on his shell. We're going to do this. I'm going to start with daffodil. So I'm going to start with yellow.
For anybody that's unfamiliar with our blends, there's a reason that cap is so tight.
Yeah.
It's because they are alcohol markers and we don't want that alcohol exposed to the air. So that's why every time she's changing a color, she's putting the cap back on because we don't want them to dry out. So that's why it's very important that the caps are as tight as they are.
Yeah. So he looks a little one-dimensional now. So I'm going to go in. Now I've got light pumpkin pie, and I'm going to just give him some extra color. So I'm actually going to use 3 colors on his little shell. I'm going to start with some light pumpkin pie, bring in a little bit in here, down on this line. And then I'm kind of going to go around these little spots on his shell.
I love that you can do that you can mix and match. Like I can use a daffodil and an orange together and they just blend so well to give you more shading.
So now I've got the dark pumpkin pie and I'm going to, down here is going to be a lot darker. So I'm going to kind of bring in some color. And sometimes I'll just kind of draw stuff out just a little bit. I'm going to draw just a little bit more color in here. And I actually don't, I kind of like the way this is. I'm just going to add a little bit. I think I'm going to try highlighting this side and see what happens. Then I'm going to go back in. You know what? I think I'm going to go back in, Betsy, with my daffodil and do my blending with my daffodil.
Sure.
Oh man, he is cute.
You hold that up again then when you're done? Just to get a little bit of a closer look at him?
Yeah, let me do my last little grounding. So we talked about grounding.
Yeah.
And what I like to do is I like to always ground. So either depending on what my tone is, right here I'm working with sky and I'm working with greenery and kind of an outdoor thing. So I'm going to ground with something outdoor. So I'm going to use the pool party, which is a blue in here. It's not, this is balmy blue, but so I like to take this. So it almost looks like he's grounded in that. So I like to take it and I actually just quickly go around everywhere. I'm going over the little flowers you'll see.
So when she's saying grounding, so like sometimes when you stamp an image, it just sits like, it just looks like it's floating in space, right? It doesn't have anything to connect it to the paper. It's just kind of floating around out there, where if you add a shadow to it, it grounds it. At least that's what we're calling it. It grounds it to the paper so that it looks like it's supposed to be standing there and it's not just floating.
So after I got done with that, I realized that that was just not enough color for me. So I'm going in now with the dark pool party. I just wanted it to be a little bolder. And sometimes I just use the brush end, but I'm using the nib end, and it will, I want to say that your eye is, it's going to kind of, I don't know. Can you see it? It's hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah. To me, I can't really see it on the camera, but I hope you can. So your eye doesn't see that. Your eye doesn't see that blue, but it makes him pop. He just popped.
It makes him look more 2 or 3 dimensional, right? Yeah. Instead of just flat, right?
Yeah, he just pops. So now you can go ahead and adhere him to your Flirty Flamingo circle. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is you could put this guy everywhere. So when I was doing the piece that had the sky, I think, did you get that one? I can't remember. I think I might have even put him over here. And then reading. And then this one's the greenery. You got the one with all sky.
Okay, I did get the one within the sky.
We'll show that in a minute. Yeah. But you could put this anywhere. You just have to remember not to glue down the part that is going to be over the base of the card, because that is going to, of course, glue your card shut. No one wants that. So I don't know. I'm just going to put them right here. So I kind of take my finger under here, and I know that I want tape here and here and here. And I did not pop him up because I'm going to pop up his little greeting. So we have a little hello here, and I'm going to take some dimensionals, and I'm going to take those little pieces off the end that we don't throw away, right?
Never throw away. Use every little piece.
Okay. And I'm going to put my little greeting right there. It just says hello, love and miss you. And then I'm going to sign my name. So that's card number 3. So here's 2 versions of it. But you can see, that's going to show you hers here. Oh, and then of course,
I can add mine. I think I can add the spotlight if I know how to do technology here. If I add the spotlight, I think you can see that one now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you can see, and this one has just a note. So that's even a different greeting. I just want to hug you. Isn't that cute? And then she did the little turtle on the envelope too. Isn't that cute?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Stamp your, okay.
Yeah. Let me remove me. There you go.
I'll move my pieces out of the way. I got a little glue there. And I'm going to bring in card number 4. Some of you are probably breathing a sigh of relief. Card number 4. This is a fancy fold. So I call this a fancy fold. So it's going to be a diagonal card, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, what a waste of paper. Honestly, just bear with me. I'm going to show you that you can still get 2 cards out of 1 sheet of cardstock, and I'm going to show you how, and some tips on getting your raindrops to be going in the right direction. Now Betsy will show you her card, and I think I'll send it to her, and the raindrops are going backwards. I don't know, but I think I got it figured out. So what you got in your packet, what we gave you is, of course, the envelope, the couple envelopes, and you got a piece of cardstock that was just folded in half, scored and folded in half. It's 8.5 by 11. We scored it at 5.5 and folded in half. So what you're gonna do,
just a note, just a side note, because I just want to make it clear to the customers that typically shop with me and get kits from me, I don't typically score. So pre-scoring their cardstock, I am not setting a precedent here. This is not going to happen on a regular basis that I'm pre-scoring for you. I just want to make that clear.
Okay. Yeah, I know. So you're going to go ahead, you scored it, we've scored it for you at 5.5, and you're going to turn it so that you've got the short side up, and you're going to score it at 4.25, which would make your 4 quadrants, right? So I'm at 4.25. I'm going to make sure I'm using the scoring blade, which I am, and I'm going to score it, and it's going to be just like this. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut it diagonally. So I've got to look at this card because you're going to cut it from corner to corner. You can cut it. I'm just going to
bottom left.
What's that? I'm going to be
right,
upper
top
right,
down. Bottom left.
Yes. Now, if you're using the Stampin' Up cutter, it is not going to be able to cut the whole thing. So I'm going to give you some tips on that. You're going to hold it in the chamber top, chamber bottom. Okay. I like to start my, whoops, I want to make sure I'm in there. I just want to make sure I'm cutting. I'm going to start my blade right here in the middle, Betsy. And so there's a reason for that. So sometimes when you're cutting a point, if you start your blade, I don't have it on the camera, but I'm almost afraid to move it.
I can see it a little bit at the bottom. Yeah, okay.
If you start your blade on a point and you start pulling your blade down, sometimes that paper will get caught and will just start gathering, wrinkling, right?
Ah, nice.
So I started in the middle and I'm going to go all the way up here. And then I'm going to go as far as I can. Let me move this as I can down here. No, it's not going to cut all the way here. And so what I'm going to do is I've got a line right here. I can see it. And I'm just going to take my trimmer, my snips. I don't know why I said trimmer. I'm just going to go from that corner.
The access that you need to meet to that line.
Yeah, it's already on there. You can see it. It just doesn't cut it. So you just have to take your snips and do that. So this actually is both 2 cards, just like so. Okay, so we're just going to step aside and we'll go ahead and stone fold that. So we're going to do
so much more complicated than what it ends up coming out to be.
No, I know it looks complicated, but it's really pretty easy. So I forgot to finish with what you get inside. So you get your Mango Melody and a piece of cardstock for the inside. And you can see here that I stamped that cute little guy, and he is a guy for me here. And then I stamped some raindrops around him. So that's going to be your inside. And then you also got a designer tag. This is the oh, I got to change my pieces here. I'm looking at the wrong card. This is the designer tag die cuts, designer tag dies. And so we've pre-cut that for you. And then we put in some ribbon, 8 or 10 inches. And then you'll need about 4 inches per card. And that's what's in there. Then you're going to cut some designer series paper that you got in your packet. And I've got 2 designs here. These are the other sides. So in reality, you could cut just this one and flip it over and use both sides. But since we're doing 2 cards, I've got my raindrops here. I actually cut that. Well, I think it's okay. And then I've got this one that I love. It's all splattery. I had the rest of it. Let's see. It's so you'll see here, it starts like Flirty Flamingo and goes up to Mango Melody. And at the top it's Mango Melody. So it's Flirty Flamingo down here, and then it ombres up into this Mango Melody. So that's the one I grabbed. So when you cut this, you're going to cut this paper. Hold on, I'm going to get my, no, this is right. You're going to cut this paper with your cutter on the diagonal, and you're going to cut it from the upper left. And I have this in the direction, upper left to the lower right when you're using directional paper. On the other one, it doesn't matter. Okay. So I put it so that the points are in the channel, the cutting channel. And again, I start my cutter in the middle. I cut up, I could lift up and then cut down. Okay. So now I'm going to show you what it's going to be like on both cards. So let me bring in both here so that you can see on this one, my raindrops are going to be coming down here. And on this one, I'll use it so my raindrops are still coming in the same direction, but they're on the bottom half. And that's only applies if you're using directional, the directional paper. So if you're
at once, 2 cards at once.
Yeah, if you're using non-directional like this one, well, the back side's directional if you choose to use it. The hardest part really is just putting it on the little chamber and then getting your blade in the right place. Okay, I'm going to show you this one too. Let's see. I don't know. I think it will work out. So if you were going to use, no, might not work out because I've got directional, I got my raindrops.
The raindrops.
You could do this. I think it would work if you just flipped it over and you opened from the left side. I don't know. And then you have your raindrops going the right way. So if you cut it wrong, you have options. If you cut your paper and you're like, oh, and I really wanted to use this one, then just go ahead and
flip it.
Flip your card and have it open like this. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know that.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So okay, so we've got. We're gonna go back to this. We're gonna go ahead and adhere this on. Gosh, I almost hate to cover up this side. That's so cute.
I don't know though. That little one character, I can't figure out what kind of animal it is.
Is he a dog?
He's a weird looking dog.
I think
he's a weird looking dog, if that's a dog.
He's like one of those detective dogs on one of those cartoons from when we were little. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
He looks like a little detective dog.
Yeah, that sheet. I don't know about that sheet. It's got the little pig on it too, right? The little pig.
Yeah, little pig. Yeah. Well, you know, they're cute. I like to go down. I'm at the end of my rope here, so I guess it's glued for me from now on. I like to make sure I'm getting into the little points because you don't want your points to start peeling. So your designer series paper is cut like a regular layer, 4 by 5 1/4. When you cut it in half, you're going to have that little bit of edge right there. Okay. And then you've got your inside. So let's go ahead and do our tag. And what I did on this card, I'll show you. And then on the one I sent for Betsy, I did a little different. And that's what I'm going to try to do today. So I'm going to look at this. I'm trying to think. I think I might have put on the wrong color on the, So I said that I used basic gray. I didn't, I lied. It's actually smoky slate. So if you're watching this, just scratch off basic gray on your, in here, basic gray.
Smoky slate, basic gray, same thing.
Slate. It's smoky slate. Well, it needs to be smoky slate.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to use this little rainbow this little umbrella, and I'm going to stamp him in smoky slate. I should have probably stamped my greeting first. See if I'm a professional, Betsy. Like I said, I don't know.
Fake it till you make it, sister. Fake it till you make it.
How about that?
Ooh, look at
Pretty
you.
Good. I know.
This is why I keep her around, folks. This is why I keep her around. She's the impressive one of the two of us.
Sometimes I impress myself, except when I take these and stamp them upside down. So I like the stamp with the raindrops because I can kind of make them go in between. You know, I can kind of stamp a couple. They're in between the umbrellas, and I can even bring 1 or 2 down here. Oh yeah. Okay. Super cute.
Very cute.
All right. So then I made my umbrellas.
What color was that ink? I'm sorry, I missed that.
That's balmy blue, and I did put that on. Got it. Right. Okay. So I used the Flirty Flamingo, and like I said, when you put it on, it's super peachy, but it dries pinky, really, really pretty pink. Because when I first used this, I thought, oh no, that is not the right color. I got the wrong color. Remember Rococo Rose? It was the same way. Yeah. When we had Rococo Rose, you put it on and it was like so bright. And Rococo Rose was supposed to be super like vintagey.
Right.
Did not look that way when you first did it. And you just had to tell people, no, just do it, but it's going to look funny at first. Okay, so that's simple. Just coloring the, I don't know why I want to say rainbow umbrellas. You're going to take your balmy blue and white ombre ribbon. This ribbon is super soft. I love it.
It's from the By the Bay, In the Bay, By the Bay.
By the Bay. Yeah.
And then it's from the By the Bay suite. Is that right?
Yeah, the suite collection. It's a collection. You can look it up while I'm tying my bow.
You would think I'd have these pages memorized in this catalog by now, but I don't. Page 22. Yeah, by the bay. The balmy blue and white variegated ribbon.
I don't have the best scissors with me right now, so. Okay. All right, so let's move the scrap paper out of the way. We've got one more piece of paper that's 3.5 by 1 inch. And on my sample, I used that dark one that Betsy showed earlier on her card number 1. But this time I thought I want to use the little bit of lighter raindrop paper. So I'm going to try Betsy's idea. I'm going to flag this by going here, turning it over. Okay, brilliant. That's brilliant. Because when you're, then you're coming in from that direction, you're overcutting. Right. I mean, this is, hello. I learned 2 things today. I learned about that tacky thing, the tacky glue thing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have dimensionals only on this tag because I want to hide them because I'm going again over the edge. So I'm going to just get those dimensionals off. I'm going to put my little tag on here and I'm going to finish my card off by making sure that you could put your image on this side and it opens up. You could put your image on this side and this opens up first, and then that's entirely up to you. So I usually put it on the left side, but I think I'm going to put it on the right side. So all you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you're only putting glue on this side of the tag. So when you go down, this is bothering me because it's throwing me off.
It's pretty. It's so pretty.
Yeah, I love this. It's like raindrops have fallen on there.
It does.
Days are better with you. And let's just quickly, I'm gonna risk it and glue it and then stamp it. That's a gasp, just gasp. No,
fingers crossed. Fingers
well,
crossed.
It probably wasn't a great idea just because.
Well, you said it out loud now. You said it out loud. You should have said it out loud.
What I'm saying is it's probably not a great idea because it would be hard to add these little raindrops. But if I keep the raindrops inside of my, did I put them upside down? No. And not try to go off the edge like I did on the other one.
Super cute. I've done that. You could put a sticky note though. You could use a sticky note at the edge of your paper, and because I've done that where it's like, oh, I wanted to add that and I forgot, or
yeah, that's great. And then put this on the inside.
Cute, 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 cute.
I did not feel like I needed color on that. I liked him to be just this way. I like that idea of the little Wink of Stella though. I could maybe add like Wink of Stella to that too, but I just didn't think he needed any color. I wanted him to be,
I don't think so,
smoky slate and a little bit of blue.
It's very cute, very pretty.
So that's card number 4, and that's all the cards. So do you want to leave me highlighted and we can talk about next month? Are we to that point? Because I can clear off and show you my desk.
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody's good on the playing the rain and shine and playing in the rain bundle. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Got some really good ideas from it. It's a great one. We're premiering this video on the last Wednesday of the month. And we'll be checking it out and we'll be there. So comment and let us know what you think. But we always like to kind of give you an idea of what's coming in the next month. So Mary Ellen's going to introduce what we're planning to use in March. By the way, for the Stamp It Your Way, you can do it on a month-to-month basis, or you can actually do it on a subscription plan where you don't have to think about it every month, and we can just automatically bill your credit card and you just automatically get the kit from month to month. And after 6 consecutive months, we send you a little, some free product as a thanks. So definitely something to consider. But yeah, we'll give you a sneaky peeky on what's coming in March, right?
Betsy, I forgot my embellishments. I got so freaked out about but I
forgot your daisies?
I forgot my daisies. Can you believe
now
it?
You can try that little tacky technique.
I'm just gonna put these on. I'm gonna put this on here, but I want to show you what I did while you were showing it. So they're yellow and they're white. Look what I did. Can you tell what I did?
Did you color it?
I colored it so that I could have a little a pink one. So yeah, I know. Should I not put these on yet? I'm doing it.
Do it. But, oh my gosh, my jaw's like dropped. I didn't even have thought of coloring in the white ones.
Yeah, I was doing it while you were talking about that. I'm like, I wonder if you could color that. So I colored it to match this card.
I see.
I stop, right? Just stop.
So
I'm gonna pretend like those are on there. They were all tacky and it doesn't move, but okay. So I thank you. I just totally forgot about that. It's cards not complete.
Can't forget the bling. Bling's very important.
Gotta have a little bit of something. So let's talk about next month. So I'm super excited that we're going to be doing two-tone flora. Oh, and another thing, I don't have any cute samples to show you. Like Betsy had some cute samples, but I've got a sample here for this two-tone flora. So even though this greeting is not a part of this, you're going to pull out whatever greetings you have. But these flowers are a part of it. Super cute. It's two-step stamp. And but what makes this is this paper, these dies, amazing. So this is not necessarily one of the cards. This is just a sample I had done here recently. But let me show you this paper. This paper has got me. Paper is what's got me. So I'm going to just flip through it quickly. I've got probably a couple stacks here. So I'm going to just show you what this is. This is
that right there is my favorite. This one? Yes.
Can anyone guess why this is Betsy's favorite?
But it might be because it's got brown in it.
I'm pretty sure that's the truth. I'm pretty sure that. Now me on the other hand, I kind of adore the purple and the pink and the orange and
Pretty safe bet that I'll be using the green and the brown one.
Not so much. So the brown for me, but I do love brown, just not as much as you do. No one does. And so
no one does. That's funny.
But look at this paper. It's so gorgeous. It's like beautiful big acrylic paint that artists have done, and then they photographed this paper for Stampin' Up. I love it. I love everything about it. It reminds me of Bob Ross. He was great with the little palette knife. And then the other that come in that is, look at this little, I don't know if this camera will do it justice. The shimmer, what is this called? This is called the fine shimmer paper, and it comes in 3 colors, and you get 2 sheets of each one, a gold, a fresh freesia, and a soft succulent. Beautiful.
It is yummy.
Glittery and shiny. I love it.
So yummy. Yeah.
The other things that come in there, I'm reaching over here, is a Pool Party Grow Grain ribbon. Really soft, easy to use. And then these are probably my favorite. I've used these so much, like this packet, I think I've already cut off of it, but these are iridescent pastel gems that match this paper. So pretty. So those are the things that come in that sweet collection. We're not going to give you a sneak peek of the cards this month. So sign up.
Absolutely.
And then I'll just highlight again that I want to bring in those dies again, because I want to show you the dies that come in there. That's one die. Mm-hmm. This die, gorgeous. It cuts this filamenty, really fine, gorgeous little detail. And it is
I'm leaning towards wanting to try that as a mask. So cutting it and then trying it as a mask and then sponging through it as a mask. So that's kind of like what I'm leaning towards on one of my cards, but I have to play with it. So that's my goal this upcoming weekend. So what do you think? So playing in the rain, right? It's super adorable, right?
Yeah, adorable. Yeah. I love it. I love those little critters. I would say that when I first saw that first catalog back in I think we saw in August when we were in where? New Orleans.
Yes.
It jumped right out at me. I knew that was going to be one of the first things I bought. I thought those kids were adorable. So I've really loved them.
So cute. Yes,
I hope
absolutely. I agree.
You guys do too.
Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, I say let's log off, because we'll also highlight where each card starts so that you can go back and just click on the in the YouTube, you can click on the link there and just jump to each card 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you want to stamp along with us, you can. So.
And the nice thing is that these will be on our channel. So Be Creative Stamping and Create With Me. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can see these updates as they're coming out. And these will stay out there so that it doesn't matter if it's, 2 months from now and you finally get to break out this bundle or this kit and you finally sit down with it, you can easily go back to YouTube and check out this video at any time. So it's always there for you.
That's right. And I'm just going to finish off with, if you have any comments or anything, please let us know. We are listening. So this is something we're just trying. And if you have any concerns or anything, we're open. Let us know.
Yeah. Tell us what you love. Tell us what you'd like to see. If there's a kit or something or product you'd like to see, let us know. We would, we definitely want to keep this going, and yeah, it's fun, right?
Just be nice.
Yeah, be nice. Yeah, be nice. Yeah, if it's technical, then just assume that it was I screwed it up, and it'll just happen every month. So, but I'm working on it. We're figuring it out.
It's perfect.
It's good. It's just good spending time with you, spending time with everybody watching, but also spending time with you, Mary Ellen, just to sit and do some stamping.
Yes, it's awesome.
All right. Thank you, everybody. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call this quits, and we're going to see you guys next month. So reach out if you have any questions. Bye.
Bye.